What if Miranda Priestly is back? And this time she's more powerful than ever? The whispers around Hollywood have exploded into full-blown excitement because a leaked trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2 has surfaced online, sending fans into a frenzy. Imagine the sharp heels clicking against the polished floors of runway, the icy stare of Miranda slicing through the room, and the promise of drama even bigger than before. This leak doesn't just tease a sequel, it hints at a storm of fashion, power, and betrayal that could outshine the original. And today, we're breaking down exactly what this supposed trailer reveals and why fans cannot stop talking about it. The first glimpse from the leaked trailer throws us directly into Miranda's world once again. The scene opens in silence, only the soft hum of city life echoing in the background. A sleek black car pulls up in front of a towering building, and the camera lingers on a pair of designer heels stepping out. Fans immediately recognize the iconic stride, sparking speculation that Miranda Priestly has officially returned. There's no face shown, just that commanding walk that reminds us of who runs the fashion world. The screen cuts to flashes of fashion runways, blinding camera flashes, and whispers in crowded rooms, giving off a tone that's darker, sharper, and even more intense than the first film. Another standout moment comes in the form of a quick shot of Andrea, the once naive assistant who grew into her own voice by the end of the original film. In the leaked footage, she is seen in a dimly lit office, answering a phone with a look of unease on her face. The line on the other end is muffled, but fans swear it's Miranda's commanding tone. This small moment has sparked endless debate. Has Andrea fallen back under Miranda's influence? Or is she being pulled into a new battle against her? The mystery of that phone call has quickly become the most talked about detail of the trailer, but that's not all. Viewers also pointed out the appearance of a brand new face, a young assistant nervously carrying coffee cups through the chaos of Runway's office. Her overwhelmed expression is eerily similar to Andrea's in the first movie, making fans believe she could be the new Andrea, caught in the same whirlwind of pressure and impossible expectations. This small detail signals that the story might parallel the original while still pushing the narrative into fresh territory. If Miranda is back, she may be grooming a new protégé setting, someone else up for failure. Social media has been flooded with reactions since the leak appeared. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are overflowing with clips, fan theories, and emotional posts from longtime viewers. Some fans are thrilled at the idea of seeing Miranda's sharp tongue and cold stares once again, while others are skeptical, questioning whether a sequel can live up to the perfection of the original. Memes have already taken over with captions like "Miranda didn't say that's all," because she knew it wasn't over. The buzz has grown so massive that even fashion blogs and celebrity news outlets are weighing in, claiming this sequel could reshape how Hollywood approaches classic revivals. What stands out most about the leaked trailer is the shift in tone. While the first movie balanced humor with fashion-driven chaos, this new footage suggests something heavier and more dramatic. The world of Runway doesn't just look glamorous anymore, it looks dangerous. The rivalry, the betrayal, and the hunger for control feel magnified, as if the stakes are higher than ever. That sharp edge is exactly what has fans hooked. Could this be a sequel that doesn't just continue the story, but completely redefines it? The leaked trailer, whether real or an expertly crafted hoax, has done its job. It has reignited passion for a story that still resonates almost 2 decades later. The mystery surrounding Miranda's return, Andrea's possible involvement, and the hint of a new assistant has left audiences hungry for answers. And while the studio has remained silent, the buzz isn't slowing down anytime soon. This is just the beginning of a conversation that could lead to one of the most talked about sequels in years. The leaked trailer may have caught everyone's attention, but what really has fans buzzing is the possibility of seeing the original cast back together. At the heart of The Devil Wears Prada was not just fashion and ambition. It was the unforgettable performances that gave the story its bite. And if this sequel is truly happening, then one of the most important questions is, who's returning? To the world of Runway? And how will their characters fit into a new chapter nearly 2 decades later? Let's dive into the cast rumors that have the internet in a frenzy. First, we have the legendary Meryl Streep as Miranda Priestly. Her cold, commanding presence made Miranda one of the most iconic film characters of all time, and fans agree the sequel cannot exist without her. The trailer leak didn't show her face clearly, but that powerful silhouette, the razor-sharp tone of voice, and those signature heels are enough for viewers to believe she's back. The big question is, what role does Miranda play now? In the original, she was at the very top of the fashion empire, untouchable and unstoppable. But the fashion world has changed drastically since then. Social media influencers, fast fashion, and new digital platforms have disrupted the once elite world of high-end magazines. Could Miranda still reign supreme in this new era, or is she facing her biggest challenge yet? Many believe the sequel could explore whether even Miranda Priestly can adapt when the rules of the game have shifted. Then there's Anne Hathaway's Andrea, the wide-eyed assistant who grew into a bold, independent journalist by the end of the first film. If the leaked trailer is to be believed, Andrea is no longer the naive girl desperate for a chance. She's a woman who has built her own career, one that may now be colliding with her past. The quick glimpse of her on the phone has raised countless theories. Some believe she's still connected to Miranda, maybe even working alongside her in some new high-powered role. Others argue she's an adversary this time, fighting against Miranda in a battle between integrity and ambition. Whatever her role, Andrea's return promises an emotional confrontation that fans have waited years to see. The student may finally be ready to face the master, and that tension could drive the heart of the story, of course. No discussion of returning cast members would be complete without Emily Blunt's Charlton. Once Miranda's fiercely competitive first assistant, Emily's biting sarcasm and ruthless determination made her unforgettable. In recent years, Emily Blunt herself has become a powerhouse in Hollywood, and fans are eager to see her back in the role that helped launch her career. The leaked footage doesn't confirm her return, but whispers suggest Emily's character is no longer anyone's assistant. She's now a major force in the fashion industry, perhaps running her own empire. Imagine the fireworks if Emily is now Miranda's rival, no longer stuck under her shadow, but standing tall as her equal. This kind of storyline would not only honor her growth, but also set up one of the most compelling clashes the sequel could deliver. And let's not forget Stanley Tucci's Nigel, the loyal yet often overlooked creative genius behind Runway's success. His heartbreaking betrayal in the first film when Miranda sacrificed him to protect her own position left fans devastated. But Nigel's return could bring closure and redemption. Rumors suggest that if Tucci reprises his role, Nigel may finally get the recognition and influence he always deserved. Some fans believe he could even team up with Andrea, forming an alliance that challenges Miranda's power head-on. This possibility alone has sparked excitement because Nigel's wit, wisdom, and quiet strength were vital to the heart of the original film. His comeback could balance the sharp edges of Miranda's world with humanity and depth. The leaked trailer didn't outright reveal these returning characters, but fans have been analyzing every shadow, every background voice, and every fleeting shot for clues. A hand with Emily's signature jewelry, a laugh that sounds suspiciously like Nigel, a figure in the background that resembles Andrea. Viewers are convinced these aren't accidents. Whether intentional or not, the leak has reignited a sense of nostalgia mixed with anticipation. Seeing these characters return wouldn't just be fan service. It would be essential to continuing the story in a way that feels authentic and emotionally powerful. The thought of Miranda, Andrea, Emily, and Nigel sharing the screen again is electrifying. Each character has unfinished business, and each relationship holds unresolved tension. Andrea never truly confronted Miranda about the personal cost of her choices. Emily never fully broke free from Miranda's hold. Nigel never got his justice. And Miranda never stopped being Miranda. Bringing them back allows the sequel to explore not just the glamour of fashion, but the scars left behind, the rivalries reignited, and the bonds that refuse to break even after years. Apart, the return of the original cast isn't just a marketing move, it's the emotional anchor that makes this sequel possible. Without them, the story would feel hollow. With them, it has the power to be a true continuation, one that honors the original while pushing its characters into uncharted territory. And that's why fans are so desperate to see these faces again. Because deep down, everyone knows the story of The Devil Wears Prada was never just about fashion. It was about the people who dared to survive in its world. Asterisk. If the returning cast is the foundation that makes this sequel irresistible, then the introduction of new faces is what gives The Devil Wears Prada 2 its edge. Every great story needs fresh energy, and according to the leaked trailer, the sequel seems ready to dive into a whole new generation of ambition, betrayal, and survival in the fashion world. These rumored new characters don't just fill space, they could completely reshape the balance of power inside and outside of runway. And that is exactly why fans are dissecting every shadowy frame of the leaked footage for clues. The first new character, sparking conversation, is a young assistant, briefly shown in the trailer carrying a tray of coffee cups while juggling a stack of fashion portfolios. Her wide-eyed expression, her nervous stumble through the hallways, and the way people brushed past her without a second glance instantly reminded fans of Andrea from the first film. Many believe she is meant to be the new Andrea, a fresh assistant about to be thrown into the unforgiving fire of Miranda Priestly's world. But what makes her role more intriguing is the theory that she might not be as naive as Andrea once was. With the modern fashion industry driven by influencers, technology, and relentless competition, this character could represent a younger, more cutthroat generation who sees runway not as a dream job, but as a stepping stone to ultimate power. If that's the case, she may not break under Miranda's pressure, she may fight back alongside her. Another rumored character is a rival editor, possibly leading a new digital-first fashion magazine that threatens runway's legacy. This character has not been clearly shown in the leaked footage, but fans claim there's a shot of a woman standing at a podium, surrounded by flashing cameras, delivering a sharp line about the death of outdated fashion. Could this be Miranda's biggest competitor yet? In the original film, Miranda always operated from a position of strength. But in this new world, with fashion shifting at lightning speed, a rival who understands modern platforms like TikTok and Instagram could destabilize everything she has built. Imagine the drama of Miranda being forced to fight for relevance, not against another designer, but against a new queen of media who threatens to end her reign. The leaked trailer also hints at an ambitious male designer who appears in several quick flashes, sketching in a dimly lit studio, storming through a crowded runway, and shaking hands with powerful industry figures. Fans speculate he could be a bold, risk-taking creative genius, someone who may ally with Miranda at first but ultimately betray her for personal gain. His character could embody the unpredictable nature of fashion itself, dazzling, innovative, but ruthless when it comes to climbing the ladder. If this designer becomes a central figure, the sequel could use him to explore themes of loyalty, betrayal, and the fragile balance between art and ambition. But what truly excites fans are the possibilities these new characters bring to the storylines of the old ones. If a young assistant is introduced, how will Andrea react when she sees her younger self reflected in this new face? Will she try to guide her, protect her, or warn her about Miranda's manipulations? Or will Miranda use this assistant to prove that Andrea was never truly irreplaceable? The rival editor also creates tantalizing scenarios. Could Emily Charlton, now a force in her own right, side with Miranda to protect runway? Or could she secretly align with the rival, finally stepping out of Miranda's shadow to crush her once and for all? And then there's Nigel. If he returns, does he find his creativity stolen by this new designer, forcing him to fight for his legacy one last time? Another fascinating possibility raised by fans is the integration of social media culture into the story. In today's world, fashion isn't just about glossy magazine covers, it's about Instagram posts, TikTok trends, and viral moments. The new assistant or rival editor could symbolize this shift, bringing a fresh lens to Runway's outdated traditions. Imagine Miranda rolling her eyes at influencers but slowly realizing she must adapt or lose everything. That battle between old power and new influence could make the sequel feel both timely and deeply dramatic. The most shocking detail of all is the possibility that one of these new characters may become Miranda's undoing. In the original, Miranda was untouchable, surviving betrayal after betrayal with her throne intact. But what if this time the Empire finally crumbles, not because of Andrea, Emily, or Nigel, but because of someone new who knows exactly how to play the game better than Miranda herself? The leaked trailer's final moments, with Miranda's silhouette fading into darkness as a younger voice narrates about a changing of the guard, has sparked endless theories. Could The Devil Wears Prada 2 be the story of Miranda's downfall, at the hands of the very world she once ruled? What makes these rumored characters so compelling is that they don't just add to the sequel, they reshape it. They open the door to exploring generational conflict, the evolution of fashion, and the brutal truth that even legends must face change. Fans aren't just excited about seeing new faces. They're excited about what those faces mean for the story they've loved for years. Because if the original was about Andrea learning how to survive under Miranda, then the sequel might just be about everyone old and new fighting to survive in a world where Miranda isn't the only devil in Prada anymore, the real magic of a leaked trailer doesn't just come from what's shown on screen, it comes from the theories, debates, and wild speculation that explode online after fans catch even the smallest glimpse. And with The Devil Wears Prada 2, the leaked footage has ignited an entire storm of shocking details and fan theories that could completely change the way we see the sequel. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the tiniest flashes in the trailer have already created huge discussions about betrayal, redemption, and possibly even Miranda's downfall. Let's break down the biggest revelations and the fan theories that have set social media on fire. One of the most discussed moments from the leaked footage is a scene that appears to show Miranda Priestly walking down a hallway, clutching a folder tightly against her chest. For a character who always carried herself with effortless confidence, this brief shot feels different, almost vulnerable. Fans are convinced it hints at a massive power struggle, one where Miranda may no longer hold all the cards. Some believe the folder contains documents tied to Runway's future, possibly proof of its collapse or even her forced resignation. This theory has caught fire because it would flip Miranda's image on its head. For the first time, she could be seen as someone fighting to stay relevant rather than dictating the rules. Another shocking detail comes from a blink and you'll miss it scene of Andrea sitting in what looks like a modern, glass-walled office. She appears stern, professional, and unshaken, a stark contrast to the nervous assistant we once knew. Behind her on the wall is a blurred-out logo that fans speculate could belong to a rival media company. This small clue has fueled the idea that Andrea may no longer just be an independent journalist. She could be running her own empire, one that directly challenges Miranda's. The thought of Andrea going head-to-head with her former boss is both thrilling and terrifying, raising questions about whether Andrea has truly escaped Miranda's shadow or if she's now become her own version of her. Theories don't stop there. In another brief sequence, fans spotted Emily Charlton sitting in the front row of a runway show, dressed in commanding fashion and flashing a subtle smirk. The camera angle quickly cuts to Miranda looking unimpressed, almost threatened. This tiny interaction has led to one of the most exciting theories yet. Emily could be Miranda's direct competitor now, perhaps even running her own magazine or fashion brand. Imagine the twist of Emily, once desperate for Miranda's approval, now standing toe-to-toe with her as an equal or even as a superior. Fans argue this storyline could be the most satisfying form of poetic justice, with Emily finally seizing the power she always craved. And then, of course, there's Nigel. While his return hasn't been confirmed, the trailer includes a shadowy shot of a man adjusting a mannequin in a quiet studio. His build, his posture, and his hands all resemble Stanley Tucci's beloved character. Fans are convinced this is Nigel, back in the game after years in the background. But here's where theories take a darker turn. What if Nigel isn't Miranda's ally anymore? What if years of betrayal have turned him against her, aligning him with Andrea or even Miranda's rivals? The heartbreak of seeing Miranda and Nigel on opposite sides would be a shocking twist, especially after their complicated bond in the original film. Another detail fans cannot stop talking about is a voiceover at the very end of the trailer. It's a young, confident voice saying, "The old guard must step aside for the new." The line plays over Miranda's silhouette fading into the darkness, which has led many to believe the sequel could be about Miranda being dethroned by the new generation of fashion leaders. Theories suggest the new assistant, hinted at earlier in the trailer, might not be just another victim of Miranda's cruelty but could actually rise to become her ultimate rival. This creates the chilling possibility that Miranda herself will face the same treatment she once gave to others: cold dismissal and replacement. Some fan theories take things even further. One popular idea circulating online is that Miranda has been secretly mentoring Andrea all these years, shaping her into a leader without Andrea even realizing it. According to this theory, every choice Andrea made after leaving Runway was influenced by the lessons Miranda drilled into her. If true, the sequel could reveal a shocking twist where Miranda and Andrea are not enemies but two sides of the same coin, bound by respect, rivalry, and a shared understanding of what it takes to survive in a cutthroat industry. Another bold theory is that Runway itself may collapse, not because of external rivals, but because Miranda chooses to burn it down. Fans point to Miranda's line from the first film, "Everybody wants to be us." In a world where fashion has become more accessible and democratic, Miranda might believe the empire she built has lost its exclusivity and value. Imagine the devastation if Miranda, rather than fighting to save Runway, decides to destroy it before letting anyone else take control. This theory has gained traction because it would align with Miranda's character, ruthless, calculating, and always in control, even in destruction. What makes these shocking details and theories so addictive is that they keep fans guessing. Each possibility adds a new layer of intrigue, whether it's Andrea's rise to power, Emily's revenge, Nigel's betrayal, or Miranda's downfall. And because the leaked trailer is so vague and fragmented, every frame becomes a clue, every shadow a potential twist. Fans aren't just watching, they're solving a mystery, piecing together what could become one of the most dramatic sequels in years. At its core, the discussion boils down to this: will The Devil Wears Prada 2 show Miranda Priestly at her weakest, or at her most dangerous? Will Andrea finally step into her power, or will she find herself crushed under the same pressures she once escaped? And most importantly, when the dust settles, who will be standing at the top of the fashion world?